So now we're on the second half of Turbo with the new Turbo team. New Rangers to the rescue. And I agree with most of the fans that the second half was much better than the first. And we get such gems as episode 22, Trouble by Slice, where the Rangers fight the pizza monster and get baked into a giant pizza. Now, this episode is infamous in the fandom, but I really love it. It's always been a favorite of mine. And I love the part where the Rangers shoot the monster with the turbine laser and it didn't finish him and everybody was like, nuts, rats, traps, curses, phooey. And the Blue Centurion had to think of a word like, fiddlesticks. One of the most cheesy lines in Power Rangers history, and I love it. Episode 34, The Turn of the Wretched Ranch, is also one of my favorites. In the Elf, Ashley takes an auto shop class to prove her father wrong because he says that girls can't, work on cars and whatever. So she wants to prove him wrong. Girls can do it. Girls can do anything they want. And I like the episode a lot. And plus the monster, the maniac mechanic. I really like that monster. He was hilarious. And there's good action in it. So, yep. Check that. Episode 37, The Accident, is also a good one. Not just because of the drama going on between Carlos and his friend about who's going to be team captain, and Carlos hurt me, oh no he didn't injure me, and this crap. But there's also the stuff about Divatox and building like new Zords to put the Rangers out of commission. Like, that's the first time they built an Evil Zord, and Elgar piloted it. And the Evil Zord actually beat the Rangers. He did a good number on them, but the Zord wasn't ready for battle yet, so its arm fell off. And Elgar had to retreat before he finished the Rangers off. And Divatox was so livid at that. It was hilarious. She was like, why did you retreat? You almost had them. And Elgar was like, duh, the arm fell off. And Divatox was like, duh, I don't care if it exploded. You stick with it, That's right. Commitment, Elgar. Commitment. Actually, I would recommend checking out like all the episodes that had to do with Divatox building her own fleet of Zords, just because Divatox's dialogue in those elves was hilarious. I would just recommend checking it out for that alone. Episode 42, The Rival Rangers. I love that episode just because there's this guy in school that all the girls want to date and go to a dance with, and Ashley and Cassie end up fighting over him, and it's just hilarious. Like, Ashley pulled out all the tricks in the book to get the dude and get over on Cassie. And there's one scene where the dude's car was not working right, and Ashley like, you know what, pop that hood up for me. I'll take care of it. Cassie's like, she took one class in auto shop and now she thinks she's a damn expert. Oh, I'm surprised I haven't mentioned this yet. During the second half, Hilary Shepard Turner came back to play her role as Divatox, because she played her in the movie, and then the second half she came back to play her again. In the first half, she was played by Carol Hort, and I never liked Carol Hort's portrayal of Divatox. Like, I mean, not that she's a bad actor, I just didn't like how she was taking the character to go. It was just kind of generic evil villain thing, whereas Hilary Shepard Turner played Divatox with just this charisma that, I don't know, it was just awesome. She had her own flavor, and it was great. So Carol Hort stayed on to play Demetria, and I'm fine with that, but Hilary Shepard Turner is the only Divatox in my book, okay. And the first episode that the actress reprised her role was in episode 26, The Darkest Day. And most fans will tell you that episode 26 is amazing. And it's mostly due to the fact that the episode introduced Divatox's brother, General Havoc. And he's one of the best villains like in Power Rangers. Even people who don't like Turbo, they love General Havoc because he was such a capable villain and he gave the Rangers such a challenge. Like, he showed up. He gave Divatox a new base, the space base, and I really liked it because I prefer my villains to be in space rather than floating in the water or some crap like that. And so yeah, that was great. Then he brought the Metallosaurus, this evil Zord that defeated the Ranger Zords and even kidnapped the Turbo Megazord. And then the Phantom Ranger had to help the Rangers and give them a new Megazord, the Rescue Megazord, the most powerful Megazord in the universe. And whatever, and they ended up defeating the Metallosaurus. These episodes, like episode 26, 27, 28, like 29, those episodes with General Havoc, like, they are awesome. Like, in the episode 28, I believe, when he kidnapped the Phantom Ranger and took his power ruby, bravo, sir, bravo. In episode 29, where they had the Turbo Megazord with the Power Ruby fighting the Rescue Megazord, that was great. And back to the Ranger Zords, like their Megazord finishers, like Turbo has some of my favorite Megazord finishers. Like the Rescue Megazord's artillery power, I loved that as a kid and I still love it today. Like artillery power fire! And the spin out from the Turbo Megazord, oh my god, that, just turning a big old circle, like that is freaking awesome, man. So Turbo has some pluses there. So on to Turbo's finale, Chasing the Space Part 1 and 2. And it's one of the best finales in the entire Power Ranger franchise. Like, it's amazing, man. Divatox comes across this very powerful monster named Gorgoro. And he fights the Rangers and he destroys both of their Megazords. And it was awesome. That was some good quality action, man. They only defeated him by like this stupid means. Like they powered up their turbo ram to self-destruct and the monster swallowed it and he blew up and that was kind of goofy. But other than that, like, that was some really good action. And then after the two Megazords were destroyed, the Rangers teleported to their power chamber and Elgar and Rygar were on Earth and they happened to see like the streaks, the teleportation streaks, and they followed it to the power chamber and the villains discovered where the Rangers' base was. And I always thought this was stupid because Lord Zed and Rita and the Machine Empire always knew where the power chamber command center were. So like Divatox didn't know this whole time. Whatever. So Divatox found a place, and now that their Megazords are destroyed and all that, she decides to take her entire army of Piranatrons to the power chamber, and it was great. Like, she has a huge army, and it was awesome. Like, the Rangers had to go out there and just fight. That's all they had to do. They had no choice. And also, there's this stuff going on. Somebody is attacking Eltar, Zordon's home planet, and he's in trouble, and Zordon issued a warning, and Demetra and the Blue Centaurian decide to go to Eltar to try to help, so they leave. So the Rangers are really on their own. They just have Alpha 6. So they try to fight Divatox the best they can, but they're losing, and they try to call on like their special cars like Lightning Cruiser and Storm Blaster, but they both get kidnapped. So Divatox takes both of their cars, and yeah, they're losing. They try to hide in the power chamber, but Divatox eventually busts in there with our forces, and they blow up the power chamber, and the Rangers lose their powers. So after the power chamber blew up, then this mysterious messenger appears before Divatox. He says he's the messenger from the Sumerian planet, and he orders Divatox, the Queen of Evil, to come to the Sumerian planet immediately, and he also tells her that Zordon has been captured. And Divatox like, yeah, congratulations on capturing Zordon and all that, but I just captured the freaking Earth, and I'm not going anywhere, alright? And then the messenger says, you know, he works for Dark Spectre, and he will not be happy. And Divatox like, oh my god, Dark Spectre, the Grand Monarch of Evil, so she has no choice but to go. So she packs up her whole forces, and they head off to the Sumerian planet. And the Turbo Rangers, now powerless, they still want to go after Divatox. They feel like they have to stop Divatox now before she gets back to Earth. So to do this, they try to get help from Nasada, the space station in the Power Ranger universe. So they have Justin sneak into Nasada, and then he gets to the commander, and then he tells the commander that the Power Rangers, they need your help. They need your new space shuttle to travel to the Sumerian planet. And he buys this crowd. So the other Rangers get into the ship, but Justin stays because he wants to stay with his dad. His dad got a new job, and he wants to move with him and be a family. It's not like the other Rangers have a family or anything, but whatever. Justin's special. I mean, he is a kid, so he stays. And the other 4 Rangers and Alpha 6 go off into space. To be continued, Power Rangers in Space. So like I said, Turbo had an amazing finale. It was like one of the first epic finales of Power Rangers, like with just action everywhere. Action, action, action. It was just major stakes were raised here. So Turbo overall, it's an okay season. Like, I never hated it. It's enjoyable enough. You know, it's not like the best season in the world at all, but it is enjoyable enough. And the second half, it kind of makes up for the kind of crappy first half, you know. Thank God Hilary Shepard Turner returned to play Divatox, because her Divatox was amazing. I love Divatox. She's a great villain. I don't care what anybody says. And I'm glad that we got new Rangers. I think we needed new Rangers. New characters, new storylines to go through. I think that was a good idea. Although I wish they would have did more with the old Rangers before they left. Like, they tried to do stuff with Kat, and I really liked the stuff they tried to do with her. But the rest of the Rangers, it was kind of like, you know, nothing really going on, you know. I like that they did a little callback in one of the episodes to, like, Tanya. In Zeo, she could have been a professional singer, but she chose not to be a ranger, and I like they called back to that a bit in Turbo. But they could have did more. Like, I would have liked to see them in college, you know. I think that would have been interesting to see them in Angel Grove Universature, you know. Instead, we got Tommy trying to be a freaking race car driver for some reason. It was just, the first half was a lot of mistakes, and they tried to correct them in the second half, and I commend them for that. But yeah, overall, Turbo, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Now, if I can just get through the In Space review, then I will be done with the Zordon era. Till next time, guys. Jamata.